Hey everyone, it's Danny. Here's my Module 8 presentation on the moral compass resources we discussed. Just a quick summary, some of the things that were discussed in those resources. One of the things that stood out to me was having your heart in the right place, being a great place to start, I think. If you're in it for yourself, that's always going to lead to immoral decisions. Not always, but a lot of times it's going to lead to questionable decisions as far as leading other people. So, also leading into that from a different source was putting other people first. I touched on it in our initial video, servant leadership. And I had a request to actually elaborate on that further from one of my classmates. With servant leadership, putting other people first is kind of the key in that is um, thinking about others before you think about yourself. One of the other big things with that I have always thought is I'm not going to ask someone to do something that I wouldn't do to the best of my ability, whether that's scrubbing a floor or cleaning up kid pukes in the gym, cleaning that up versus asking somebody to come clean it up for me. So those are just a couple examples. Um, Understand emotions as they drive decisions. That can be positive or negative. I think if we can ground our emotions and stay relatively even keel, we can um, make better ethical decisions more often. Um, Building trust, there's a lot of ways you build trust. The example in the article was yes means yes, no means no. A couple other things that come to mind for me is showing up on time. When you say you're going to do something, you're going to follow through with that. So just the follow through. Um, I found it interesting on the article about religion, and I couldn't agree more. I would consider myself a Christian, and I resort back to biblical standards a lot as far as my ethical decision making. Um, but there's so many different denominations and different beliefs and different interpretations of things that it creates a different set of standards across the board. So that can get tricky with a lot of things. So um, and then I think ultimately you fall back on the qualities of fairness and honesty. There were some others mentioned throughout the other sources. Um, I think those were two big ones. In the article or in the video, it was treating everyone the same, or having a set of standards that everyone is judged the same on, and then telling people the way you see it, being transparent, being honest with them, telling them the truth and your viewpoint helps a lot. And then ultimately, always strive to improve others' lives. I think as an educational leader, it's important that you look at how you can improve the lives of your students, your staff members, teachers, whatever. So, and that goes back to having your heart in the right place and putting other people first. Here's my compass that I put together. At the very top of it, as I mentioned, I would consider myself a Christian. I firmly believe that what the Bible says is true. So um, I'm not going to leave that interpretation up to any sort of denomination necessarily, but rather just go look and find verses and find scriptures to say, okay, this is what it says in this case. Um, and that has led to a lot of decisions I've made in my life, and just helped guide me through things. So then, as you look through there, empathy and selflessness, I see as similar to an extent. Putting others first, putting yourself in their shoes, seeing yourself in that situation. Um, Goes a long ways towards making decisions for other people. Building respect is huge. As I mentioned, I talked about honesty and transparency as well as fairness, as well. So, and those all lead Those all are keys towards being and having good integrity. So there's the references used for the presentation. And then here are my statements regarding the assignment. That is all.